Who doesn't love growing their own organic vegetables to improve your health? But what about growing organic vegetables to improve your community, to reduce food insecurity, and make the place you live a better place? Before I went to Toronto for the summer, I was looking online for places to get involved with in Toronto. Something to do with farming, something to do with community. And a cousin of mine introduced me to a place called The Stop. The Stop has evolved from its original beginnings as a food bank to a community food center, a community food hub, if you will. The Stop's mission is to increase access to healthy food in a manner that maintains dignity, builds community and health, and challenges inequality. If you're interested in reading more about The Stop and how it all began, you can order this book online, The Stop: How the Fight for Good Food Transformed a Community and Inspired a Movement by Nick Saul and Andrea Curtis. The Stop Community Food Center offers so much more than food. Offers a lot of different programs, and one of the programs is a community food garden and the neighboring park where they have volunteers come in and help grow food. So I was lucky enough to be able to get to know some of the people there and attend their open house. Fantastic community building project. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so here we are in Earls Court Community Garden. And we have Justine.
Hello.
And Magpie. How long has this garden been operating?
So I think the garden has been existing for well over about a decade possibly. But yes, this is our first time growing here.
And this is your first year?
This is our first year in this space.
Oh, wow, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Both of you. Who gets involved? Who comes to the garden and helps you here? Because it's a lot of work for you guys.
Yeah, so we run a volunteer program that happens on Mondays and Thursdays. We have about 10 to 11 volunteers in each session, and they come to this space and take care of the garden. Other than our weekly regular volunteers, sometimes we will have corporate groups that will come in, which are basically different companies, typically local in Toronto, that just want to do some corporate social responsibility work. And they also donate some money to the Stop, which is amazing. And then other than that, we do some cross-pollination programs with other programs at the Stop. So as of tomorrow, we will be running basically a family program where parents and children will come into the space and learn how to grow food along with cooking food as well, which is should be really exciting.
Oh yeah, so you get like families coming in and participating.
It's basically for everybody, like for the whole community, the local community. It's a food justice based organization. We believe everybody should have the right to grow their own food. Everybody should have the right to the knowledge, so this is a place where the local folk can come and get that knowledge.
How do they get involved? If somebody was in the community, what's the first step to getting involved?
They would go to the Stop and talk to the volunteer team, the volunteer coordinators,
And Magpie, what is done with the produce? Seems like you have a lot of produce here.
Since our volunteers are here growing the food with us, they're the first ones to get the pick, of the harvest. And then whatever's left over, we donate it to the community kitchen.
And the community kitchen has, what kind of programs do they have? Or what meals do they serve there?
The Stop runs a meal service, and they provide breakfast and lunch every day. And so that is the kitchen aspect of the Stop, is just providing healthy meals to the community. And then there's also other community kitchen programming, which is more of an educational aspect, getting different community groups into the kitchen space and just learning cooking skills and stuff like that.
Perfect. What are some of the benefits of having a community garden?
Team building, the sense of community, you feel the love with the people here. They're very passionate about what they do. They enjoy it. just working with the earth and just learning how plants work and stuff. You know, some people don't realize that they don't always need a piece of land to grow some food. They could do it in their apartment.
It's true.
You know, if they have a little bit of sunlight somewhere. You know, so we help them get that knowledge.
No, yeah, I was just to piggyback off of what both of you were saying. I think this space does such amazing healing for the community. There's such emotional and therapeutic benefits of working with the land, and also that huge factor of food justice and providing the knowledge and empowering folks with the tools to actually like grow their own food. That is definitely a goal of ours at the stop. Is part of food justice is providing folks that are in need of food, who are in need of food that is relevant to the cultures that they have grown up in. So that essentially is what is culturally relevant or culturally appropriate foods, their own food ancestry, and helps them connect back to their culture as well. So I think it's really cool to be in a space where we can hopefully provide those cultural connections.
Then we have the Three Sisters. Of course, we always honor the Three Sisters, which that is indigenous to Turtle Island here. So we grow the beans, the squash, and the corn together. Yes,
Right now
the corn is planted, and then once it gets high, then the beans are planted in the squash, and then the corn is like a structure for the beans to grow. And at the same
The
time,
beans grow up the corn.
yes, and at the same time, something about the beans,
Puts
nitrogen. Yeah, so it
Sure.
enriches the soil as it grows on its friend, the corn, and then the squash follows too. And
On the enriched soil from the beans.
But what's amazing about Earls Court is that we have the same regular volunteers every week, and we spend so much time together and building those connections and those relationships. It feels very genuine. It's like a little family here, which is so nice. Just working with the land is super important for me, recognizing that this is native land, and that piece of Indigenous reconciliation. Like, we have a responsibility to caretake for the land, and I think that's a huge important piece when we are working with the earth and also working with our volunteers.
Now, if somebody wanted to donate to the stop or to Earls Court Garden, how would they go about doing that?
Good question. Go onto our website and just see the fundraising contacts, and you can get in touch there.
Fantastic. Well, thanks you guys so much for your time today, and thanks so much for your time in general over the garden. And I think the work you're doing here is fantastic. It's a beautiful garden, and you've really done a good job.
Thank
you, Brian.
All right.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Brian's Green Garden, like and subscribe.
Comment below too.
Great.
I hope that was okay.
Oh, it's fantastic.